My neck did make a large popping noise, but I am okay. Welcome back, everybody. It is Indie Boy Racing, and here we are in the year 2024, diving headfirst into round one practice. All right, so right now it's about 40 degrees, 9 a.m. in the morning, and I am sporting a little bit of a little Michael Jackson fashion. For those of you who don't know who Michael Jackson is, he's the king of pop, one of the largest pedophiles ever to grace our planet. Anyways, though, he always sported a one-glove fashion. I couldn't find the other glove, okay? Sorry. Anyways, if my hand froze, it hurt, but here we are, diving head first, like I mentioned, and already I've dropped back a couple places due to some severe understeer, cold tires. And that guy is over the curb and already into that other guy, into the dirt. All right, ahead of me is Miles. And right now, that is my biggest competition for the season, along with Daniel, Brian, and maybe a few others that I may be forgetting right now. I give Miles a thumbs up as we fly down the main straight here, heading into turn one. I am in cart number 3, all black. Doing it for Dale, all right? Who else are you going to do it for the first race? And like I mentioned, dealing with some understeer, and what that means you're going to crash into the wall with the front of your car. Other guy off there into the dirt, into no man's land, that is okay. As I was saying, understeer is when you're turning your heart out, as you just see there, and the cart is not wanting to turn. There's not enough grip in the front tires, not enough heat. So really, they're just kind of floating, and all the weight's in the back, so it's not really doing much for you. So this first couple laps, this essentially the practice, as I said, is really getting a feel for the track, your cart, and really the competition around you. It is 2024. Arrive and Drive has gotten quite popular. There are a total of 30 carts so far in this race. And also, I only recognize about 5 kids. All right, Miles, Daniel, Brian, my boy Seth. Who else we got in there? But now we got a couple. Oh, another guy off into the dirt. See what I mean? No grip. You slam onto those brakes and you slide off into the dirt, and you just kill your race. You're killing it. So Miles has now caught up. I'm fighting my heart out, trying to follow his line, but also see what works best for me as we swerve in and out through traffic, and that's okay. It's just a practice, so really you shouldn't be too worried, sweating too hard on your placement here. But really, we fight to the death. As you see, Miles making quick work of number 248. I'm now getting some side-to-side action. Kind of made the mistake of going over the curb, thinking I could make a quick pass on him. He shut the door. We had a little bit of fighting, allowing for Mercedes right here to my right to now join the action, and we are back onto the straightaway. And I am just going to tuck in right here, kind of poke out, knowing I can take kind of the shorter line in and fight my way up. Another cart off in the distance. Hey, while you're watching this video, keep track of how many carts you see. Mercedes there, diving right through the dirt, killing his tires and time. And I say killing tires, why? For those of you who are maybe new to karting, because your tires hopefully have gained heat by now. When you go through the dirt, it's just going to stick to your tires. You hopefully pop right back onto the track, and it's going to take about a lap or two to clean those tires off and give you optimal grip once again. As you see, another guy off into the dirt. Almost made my way into the dirt with him, because that turn, you can really throw yourself through that quick right and left. And when your tires are just warming up, still cold, you kind of slide here and there. And right now, making quick work of 248, finally down the main straight, making a pass. Miles still up in the distance, but no worries. Petronas here, Mercedes thinking he can do something. He dived in. He's definitely hitting his brakes way too hard, and that is what's going to cause you to self-spin. and you just saw it. You saw the lock up, a little bit of smoke pop up. That's what happens. For those of you who have still remained watching the video, thank you. Also, just want to say, I apologize for the camera angle. It may not be the best, but that is what is allowed per regulations for the ride and drive. It must be strapped to the person, to their chest, nothing on the cart, nothing on the helmet. We live to fight another day. Am I right? Or am I right? All right, almost head-on collision there. Another guy trying to join the track. So now I'm thinking to myself, awesome. These guys have definitely just slowed themselves down tremendously. So my cart was doing really well on the straightaway. So I'm just thinking to myself here, let's go. Fly by Miles. We're going to tuck in right here, except the thing is, I don't want to fight him too hard going into this first turn because it is practice, not trying to kill any of our races, and I'm trying to keep it clean. Also, I know he tends to be a tad bit faster. What am I trying to say there? Tad bit faster than me, so it is nice to stay back a bit and see his line. And yes, I do say tad bit because throughout each race, throughout this day, he was only about 0.3 to 0.5 seconds faster. Another guy off in the distance, chilling. It's all good. Yellow flags flying, and that's essentially what we're getting throughout these races, throughout this video. It is wreck city, spin city, boys. All right, and that's what I was trying to get was there's 30 people on the track, 5 that I recognize of the past 2 years I've been doing this. So a lot of new people racing, a lot of new people behind the cart. So it was definitely very interesting, definitely a workout, a lot more work than I would normally have to put into one of these races due to just having to constantly dip, duck, dive, and dodge. All right. So it was wild. At this point, I can't feel my hands at all, even the one with the glove. The Michael Jackson aesthetic was definitely not a wise choice. I should have just embraced no gloves, but I thought, if I'm going to put a glove on, at least have one hand, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, coming around the last turn, hopefully I know I can maybe catch Miles here in the straight, but I'm pretty sure practice is going to be wrapping up here. We see off in the distance the checker flag is flying. Second place, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the world, thank you very much. That is practice. It's pretty nice. We're going to wrap it up. Fast forward here a tiny bit because as I was finishing up that cool down lap coming into the pits, we got 2 more people spinning out going into the pits and then reversing back into traffic. It was very interesting. Wow. All right, so that's going to sum up practice. Second place, a good cart. Understanding the competition and seeing that it is going to be, it's going to be fun. All right. So round 1, heat 1. We are doing a standing start for this one. Green flag is go, and we are all off to a start. You may be wondering, why are you shaking the cart like your first newborn? And that is because the shaking, the bouncing of the butt, it gets traction, it gets those RPMs up in the cart, and it helps you fly. All right, coming into the first turn, I already see trouble ahead of me. Oh, yeah, that hurt. I did hear a loud pop in my neck, and that was a little worrisome just because I am coming back from a neck injury. And I am sporting number 3 in all black and doing it for Dale, but I'm not trying to do it that much for Dale. Someone off in the distance already going into the dirt. And if you go back and actually watch that, I would do a little whole slow motion thing for you, but my computer is miserable when it comes to doing anything on it. So if you go back, you can actually see the wreck happening. You can see the carts checking up, them getting loose, and then that cart actually sliding out in front of me I had nowhere to go. I could have tucked up left, but when you're diving in that well and making that much distance up in that first turn, you really feel the herd behind you breathing down your neck. And after seeing the wreckage in practice, I really felt like what you saw. Like I was gonna get slammed right there in the rear, push popped, everything and all. There's my boy Seth, tell him let's go, let's go. I don't know what he was doing, he was chilling a bit, that's okay. But here we are, diving into the first turn, making up some spaces, some places is what I meant to say here after the wreck. So I'm not feeling too bad, not feeling too shabby. Just gotta keep my head down, focus on my line, and just pray that nobody takes me out and nobody is spinning out in front of me too fast to where I'm not able to have that reaction. You know, already here we go, about to have a head-on collision, nearly missed him. Oh my gosh. And actually we're about to have another one as you see them squabbling and fighting for placement. This guy's about to spin out to my left right there on the straightaway as well, which is very dangerous. Actually a little foreshadowing to the next heat. Anyways, trying to fight into the first turn, and when you do this side by side with other karts, and after, like I've said, seeing everybody, whoa, slipping and sliding, whoa, my God, Spin City, like I said, you kind of wonder, what are they going to do? It makes you a little nervous. Sure, isn't the point of racing to take it to the edge? Yes, but as well, look at this guy to the left. He's all tucked in, thinking he's going places. I don't know what was happening there. He wasn't going anywhere. Anyways, you just you get a little nervous. You do want to take it to the edge, but as well you want to play it smart. And we fast forward, just after making up those several places, it took about 2 laps to finally catch up to the pack again. So we only fast forward here about 2 minutes. Little Spin City right here, and the person who spun him out is right here to the right, cutting through the dirt. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera later, but they actually remain in the middle of the grass at one point. I don't know how. Don't ask me. I'm gonna make a quick pass here. Send it. No big deal. Anyways, he's losing it. Seemed like that was from hitting their brakes, and don't know why they're hitting the brakes there through the S's. But you can really gain speed through there, and really preps you well for this right-hander coming down the straightaway. You carry a lot of speed if you don't end up hitting traffic. Like I said, play it safe. You like to see what's around you, and you know once you go into these first turns with some karts around you, and after seeing the wreckage, you just kind of think to yourself, I'm gonna pass them later on. No reason to, ruin my race. Fast forward here a bit once again, catching up further to the pack. Just because that wreck did send me back quite a bit, I'm now catching up, I believe, to the 5th place individual, and this is going to be a fight for 5th and 4th. You may be thinking, really? You're fighting for 5th and 4th? Is that really anything to even be proud or be fighting for? And yeah, I think any position gain, any time improved in racing, that's something to be proud of. And these 2 guys ahead of me, striped shirt guy is the one who went off into the dirt on that practice and took out another kart. So he was somebody really to watch out for, just because if you passed him, he liked getting on the inside and really diving in to each turn. So I was thinking to myself, any moment, any move I can make on him, I'm just going to Fernando Alonso it, get those elbows out, and start playing it safe and guarding. This guy as well has the same thoughts. As you see here, he thought, actually guys, last lap, I think I might park it. I might take my time, hit up the stores, the shops, see what's out. As you see here, you may be thinking, Kenny, Indie Boy Racing, what are you doing? You're bumping and grinding with him. Like, yo, at least take him out to dinner first. I know. But when it's the last lap and you're pushing that hard and you got a guy breathing down your neck and he's parking it, come on. What do you, my white Valentino bag? What do you want me to do? Anyways, continue to be entertained with striped shirt, thinking the race is still going on and the yellow flags we're about to encounter on the cooldown lap. But really, two things we need to focus on coming up for Heat 2, and that is my GoPro died, and also red flags everywhere. Red flags everywhere. Red flags. Red flags. Red flags everywhere. Red flags. Red flags. Everywhere. Red flags. They wouldn't stop. Red flags. Round 1, final one. This is the final race of the day for, I don't know, the season. No, not the final race of the season. I can't speak. I'm so excited. Green flag is out. As you can see, everybody is bumping, grinding, getting low on the dance floor. Akon would be so proud. I'm a millennial. It definitely checks out for those of you who are younger. I don't know, do the research on the reference. Anyways, already losing a place here on turn 1. I went out a little wide. That is okay, as this guy tucks in ahead of me. It is enough time. You know, I'm going to watch his line, see what mistakes they're making, see what they're doing well, and then capitalize on that, all right? I can see miles ahead. Sadly, though, already gaining plenty of time on the rest of us as he chucks his body into every turn and corner, riding the curbs perfectly. Also, I'd like to apologize for this camera angle. My GoPro started tilting up there towards the end, and that is why it is a little more personal, getting more of a, helmet shot. That's okay. Here we are down the straight. I start getting a bump from behind. That is a little worrisome because it's either an eager racer who doesn't know what they're doing, or it's Brian right behind me giving me a bump draft, helping me down the main straight, because as you can tell, the two karts in front of me, their straight line speed was amazing, but in the turns they were slower. So this helped me maintain my speed and distance with them going down the straight, that bump draft. So thank you, Brian. But in the curbs and turns here, that's where I could definitely capitalize, ride my line perfectly, because I knew what to do. Down this little hill, definitely get some speed. They start fighting. Mercedes, he was fighting his kart that whole entire time. If you want to go back and watch, he's really fighting his kart. They get a little bit of tumble tossing in there. I really could have done something with it, but I didn't make my move. I didn't dive into there, because that really could have been about 2 to 3 places made up. So I'm gonna do it here. All right, I see Petronas Mercedes over there on the right. He tucks off to the right thinking he's going ultra defensive. That's fine. Let him ruin his line, because I know, boom, I can sweep really fast through here, keep that wide line, get enough speed carried from carrying all that speed in that turn, and continue to ride up the hill forward. He's now behind me in the distance, lost, probably going back into the pits. He's done. He's checked out. Now I got these two karts ahead of me to focus on. And really, this is going to sound maybe pompous of me, I knew I was faster than them. I knew if I maybe passed them a little earlier, or somewhere in this inner field, I could have been way closer to Daniel. But they were really, really fast on the straights here, because you're going to see them just fly away from me. Right there. I'm tucked. I'm trying to get the human DRS going, and there's just no chance. They are way ahead. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm really going to have to fight them in these corners. All right. Kind of gain up some speed there. We see a kart kind of slowing up. Maybe didn't nail that first turn. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, make him nervous. Let my presence be known. Force him into a mistake, hopefully. However, he's kind of all over the place, getting defensive. It's mixing the lines up. You're riding a curb here, you're off the line here. So really, all you can hope is that by the time you start lining up for that apex, for that turn, that it's lined up correctly. You can fight on the way to the turn, But when you get ready for the turn itself, just make sure you're on the line you need, because you don't want to slow yourself up too much. You don't want to ruin the race. Just be okay. We're fighting. The opportunity didn't present itself. Tuck back in. Focus on where I can capitalize and improve on for this next lap. You may be thinking, Kenny, did we just jump ahead? Yes, we did, because the next 2 laps are once again me doing exactly what I just said. Focusing on where they're making the mistakes, focusing on where I can get fast. Eventually, they're going to start fighting each other as well, much harder, and where you can capitalize. And it's right here. They always fight right here. I gain so much speed. I take that inner line, ride that curb, get alongside here, get as far out as possible, because I know I can chuck myself into this right-hander, lining myself up for that curb to ride it perfectly, making the pass. Maybe thinking, that's common sense. Why didn't you do that before? Just wasn't lined up well enough. They were fighting. They were bouncing off the line, so that forces me out of position. And in these karts, you do not want to lose speed. As soon as you lift, as soon as you bump, as soon as you tap the brakes, gaining back up to those RPMs is a hassle. So I did the exact same thing on this guy. He was a little more defensive, so I thought to myself, I'm now gonna fight him down this straightaway. So tuck right here. He actually brakes hard enough that I had to brake hard enough and almost lost it on a straightaway, nearly self-spinning. How embarrassing would that be? Would have been ridiculous, you know? So I'm tucked behind him. I'm seeing where he's now made the mistakes, where he's getting tired, because as you can now see ahead, we're starting to run into traffic. 3rd place is getting closer and closer. 2nd place, that's long gone. Okay, 2nd, 1st, they're gone. But 3rd place is definitely achievable. We hit traffic. He tucks in behind traffic. I dive in on the outside. I just go full send here, ride the curb, let them make the mistake. He slides out, placing my kart perfectly now into 4th place. And now there is one thing to do and one thing only, and that is chase Daniel down and get myself onto the podium for the first time in a final race and get that 3rd place position. Anywhere on that podium would be amazing. So Daniel's an amazing racer, and right now we're going to be coming up into traffic. We've already been kind of slipping and sliding through a couple stragglers here and there, but really we're starting about coming up to the girth, the meat and potatoes of the traffic, where some strategy can start coming into play. Because if they start slowing Daniel down, if they block him, if they think he's another racer, then this allows me to capitalize my racing line on his mistakes and start really making those moves, just burning tenths of a second each couple feet that kart is going, because you need to nail every apex. There are no braking points except for the first turn here. All right, you go flat out in these karts, because as soon as you lift, as soon as you even tap or breathe on the brakes, you've lost so much time already. It's over. All right, so I feel this straightaway. I feel myself catching up. I can see him getting into traffic, which could also help him with a little tiny bit of the slipstream that does exist with karting. Or, they can open the door wide open for him, which I noticed 2 of the karts do. So that goes part of the strategy I was thinking. So what I need to just kind of bank on is that I blend in. Little Assassin's Creed mode. Just kind of sneak my way through the crowd and hope that, he's still just kind of in this salience mode and is just driving. And what I mean by that is I noticed a little bit he's gotten to a cruising mode. Except for right now, they're going through the dirt. They're fighting. He's now dropped back a tiny bit. That's got to get a little bit worrisome for him, but he knows he's cutting through traffic. So, in his mind, he's still just cruising. He still knows he's got 3rd place sealed. He just passed about 6 lapped cars. no big deal, right? No, that's where you're wrong. Because what you're about to see now is me catch up to third place, Daniel Chavez. Here we go, bud. Except right now, he's channeling, I feel, Fernando Alonso. He's playing a good game. One, he's a great racer, and I get right tucked in right there. That little bump draft goes, it's Kenny. Yep, sees the Bill Cosby sweater, the big blue helmet, and he knows I'm coming for him. So what's he gonna do? Like I said, channel Fernando Alonso, get those elbows out. He's gonna slow down a bit. I feel like George Russell nearly wrecking on the last lap of the race, but he just does a great job there. Really slowed me down, but I'm not even disappointed. Like, to lose that to him, it was a great race. And honestly, everybody, this is where I cut the video because this battery is also dying. And that's the end of this race. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's the results. There's your boy, number 3, doing it for Dale, 4th place. There's my lap times, good stuff. So once again, hope you enjoyed the race, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff.